We've had some warm weather throughout this winter, and that brings the little insects up. And we're going to talk with naturalist from the Johnny Appleseed Metro Park District, Lindsey about why we want to help them out.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? Why do we need to help them out? But they need the cold winter, and this is kind of weird to go up and down and fluctuate.
It is a little bit. So insects are really important overall in our backyard ecosystems and our habitats. They provide food source for those beautiful birds we love to watch in the springs, and they're an integral component of our ecosystem food chains. So it is really helpful to help them out, especially over the winter. Now, winter is a really tough time for very many animals. They go through periods of where there's limited food, there's limited water, there's maybe not a lot of shelter for them. And so they have different strategies to survive the winter. Some of them might migrate. Monarch butterflies are a wonderful example of an insect that just moves out of the area for more resources. There are a few insects that are active in the snow in the winter, things such as snow fleas and snow flies you might find out. But for the most majority of insects, they opt out. They say nope to winter, and they go dormant for that season. And insects and animals, they know what behaviors they need to do to survive the winter, but as humans have more impact on the environment and they change the environment for these animals, it's often helpful to give them a little bit of those resources back and help them out, provide a way for them to use their environment. So Holly, you're going to help me today make an insect in. Look at this. Sometimes we call these bug hotels, but I want you all to remember that these insects are important and beneficial. They're important animals for us. So you just start by taking a milk jug container. Holly's got hers cut out in the front. We're going to put these outside, so the insects are going to be outside of your home. And once you have that smooth portion cut there, we're going to take things like paper towel rolls, recycled, or toilet paper rolls, and sometimes you have to cut them down to size.
Is this too short?
Well, I like to put the short paper towel rolls in the very bottom, stack maybe one in the back, sideways, horizontal, all the way in, and then put 3 in front, and we're actually going to weight that down with some rocks in the tubes. Get those stuffed in there.
Can you be more specific about like what insects we are trying to help?
Yeah, so we're going to be helping some overwintering adult insects. Insects might survive the winter in an egg stage. Praying mantis would do that. Maybe they're a larva, like a woolly bear caterpillar. In the fall, if you make these before the winter season starts, the woolly bear caterpillars will come in. Things like beetles, ladybugs, bees would really like to use all of these holes here.
So did we mess up by like cleaning up all our leaves and stuff like that?
Well, so I know that we like to have our neighborhoods and our backyards look like certain ways, but it is really important in the fall to leave the leaves because yes, that provides natural cover and shelter for these larvae and these adults to overwinter. So you can't do it wrong. I know you're worrying about it, but this is a great project for the kids. Don't worry about doing it wrong. You're stuffing all of these different tubes in here. If you have paper straws, you can put those in for all these little holes and spaces the insects go. And then once you've got the structure built, you can see I've filled some of my sections with dried grasses, dried hay, things that we're collecting from our backyard, pine cones, sweet gum balls, anything like that. Now, because you're doing an excellent job because it'll take a moment to fill this entire milk jug up. It's a great alternative to purchasing some of these mason bee houses and insect ends.
What are these?
Those are sweet gum seed pods. Oh. Those are really cool. They provide extra little spaces inside. And you can get real dramatic with this too. If you, something you want to do in your big backyard, you could take wooden pallets and create huge insect ends, very elevated establishment for them to spend the whole winter in. Very fancy accommodation.
So even a pine cone, like I have a ton of pine cones in my yard.
It'll provide extra spaces under each of those scales, little spaces for the insects to overwinter.
Okay, all right. So the pine cone's just laying on my grass. I should leave them there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So then where, I'm going to help the insect. Where would you place this then? Let's say we get it done like you have.
We have it in plastic and the cap is still on, but if you could put it somewhere even more sheltered so it doesn't get wet and the rain and the wind doesn't get inside. If you have a place under your deck maybe, that'd be a good space, or up underneath a tree that kind of gets a lot of cover. It'd be a great place to put this outside.
And then when springtime comes, do we just leave it here or they'll move out?
They'll move out. You could take out the materials and kind of tidy it up and clean it up and get ready for another one in the fall.
All right, so perfect time to do is in the fall.
Yes.
But we can do it now because
We have
we've had
some more-
these warm weather,
Exactly.
cold weather, warm, cold, because they wake up in the warm.
They'll come out, they'll try to find some food and water. That's why they're in your house right now, maybe, when it's warmer. But get them back outside, put them in one of there.
Oh, this is a fun project for everybody. And okay, we're doing good. We're helping the insects.
We are. Insects are
They got to get through the winter just like us.
They do.
All right, well, thanks for coming today.
You're welcome, Holly.
All right, don't go away. First Edition continues in a moment.